Okay, hey guys, Edward406 here. So as the title of this video probably already suggests, this is my ideas for how to virtually eliminate cheesing from World Tour while still maintaining the essence of what World Tour is. Now, there may be other people who have had similar ideas to what I'm about to discuss. I haven't looked around the internet to see what other people have been saying, so I apologize if I'm just saying what somebody else has already said. But regardless, moving on. Yeah, so what is cheesing? Cheesing in F-Zero 99 World Tour mode is essentially the idea of slowing down a whole bunch or turning around to collect gem sparks, get KOs, or like park in the pit to get boost combo. It's one of those things that people have to do if they're looking to get the highest score possible in the game mode. So it becomes very much a situation of don't hate the player, hate the game. And I know myself, as well as people who do cheese, want to see this sort of thing just go away from the game mode. So without further ado, here's my ideas on how to approach that. This would of course would have to be something Nintendo would need to implement into the game, but nonetheless, the first component would be introducing something called penalization points. They are points that subtract from your score at the end of a race before you have the multiplier applied. Penalization of points can be accrued in two ways. One would be if you drive in reverse, and the other would be if you go below threshold speed of 100 kilometers per hour. I would have it set so that for either of those situations, for every frame you're doing it, it's 2 penalty points. And let's say you're doing combined, well, the points would be combined. So for example, if you're driving in reverse and you're under 100 kilometers per hour, and you're doing that for a whole second, that's gonna be 240 penalty points. I think what's good about this sort of system is it doesn't interfere with like normal gameplay interactions or mishaps or anything like that. I'm fairly certain that I've never unintentionally gone in reverse, maybe once if at all. And the threshold speed of 100 kilometers per hour should work out pretty good for normal driving situations, for normal mishaps. You know, for example, if you get stuck in the dirt, you're just barely above 100 kilometers per hour. I think there'd be an exception made for the start when you're first starting at 0 kilometers per hour. It'd only be until you dip down below 100 once you get past 100. And of course, and the funny thing is, if it were to be that exact way that I described it, you'd actually get a penalty if you overheated, because you drop down below 100 for a little bit but go back up. Of course, that sort of thing could be adjusted if that was felt to be too unfair. At the same time, though, I kind of like that idea that you get penalized for overheating just a little bit. But yeah, so the only other situation I could see that people would kind of have to adjust their gameplay for regarding the going under 100 kilometers per hour is for people who actually want to park in the refiller for just getting energy back. Instead of doing that, you would just have to learn how to coast through the refiller, and I think that'd be a simple thing to do, staying above 100. And it would also, even if you had to be going at least 100, you'd still get, you know, let's say you were like in a power down, regardless of what machine you're in and what refiller on, even if it's like the smallest refiller in the game, I think you're going to be able to get enough energy to get back up on your feet and complete another lap. So I think both those things work to blend well with how the game mode works, but also to very much disincentivize cheesing. Now that said, there's still, this penalty system still leaves a little room, and maybe quite a bit of room, to cheese, in the sense that you can still go slow through a track. So this brings me to my next part of how to virtually eliminate a player's ability to cheese going slow on like the final lap of a track or something. And before I go into that, let me just briefly go over the 5 ways you can get points in this game. I put them in 3 categories. The first category I would consider like the competitive racing points. These are points you get from lap position as well as beating rivals. You have to race competitively to get those points. The next category is just boost combo. It kind of sits on its own. It's just the, as you know, you have to boost or use Skyway, and then it starts the combo. and you have to maintain a certain speed after that. It doesn't have much to do with like taking good race lines or anything like that. It's mostly just about maintaining your speed, which sometimes might require you to do funky things or skillful things, but in general, it's just about maintaining that speed. The last category is collectibles, which are just gems, getting points for gem sparks, and KOs. KOs, of course, have a little extra going for them when you get energy, but just in general, that category is collectibles. People who are cheesing are going for stuff in the collectible category as well as boost combo, and so the idea of the last thing I'm going to suggest is to eliminate their ability to get those points at the end of the race, and from those categories at the end of the race. And so in order to do that, I would suggest doing something where once the person in first place crosses the finish line on the third lap, there should start a 10-second timer. And what will happen is everybody who's still left on the track only has 10 seconds left to get points for boost combo, sparks, and KOs. Now that's not to say that once that 10-second timer's up, you're eliminated from the race or anything like that. No, it's just the idea that you have 10 seconds left to get points in those three categories. Once that 10 seconds runs out, then you can still keep racing. You can still get KOs and stuff like that. It's just the gem sparks will disappear, you can't get boost combo, and you won't get points for KOs. But you can still get points for lap position and beating your rivals. And what'll be good about that is if you're still out on the track, you will, and all those things disappear, you will now even feel further incentivized to try and finish the race as quickly as you can to get the few remaining points that you're able to get. I choose 10 seconds just because it's a good round number, and I think in general, regardless of track length, and I would say 10 seconds just across the board on all tracks, but I think in general, most people finish within 10 seconds of the leader, and even if you don't, that's just a few points you're missing out on from those three categories of sparks, KOs, and boost combo, and won't be a huge loss, I think, for most people. But yeah, I think in general, all those things combined would really help to reduce cheesing. I think the game mode itself, as I said, would still retain the essence of what it is with those things in it. Yeah, I think that's about all I have to say. But if anyone's got any critiques, comments, their own ideas, there's a comment section below, so feel free to add your own thoughts down there. And other than that, thank you all for watching, and I'll just, yeah, that's it. Peace.